What's going on, everybody? This is Brandon Hill, and today I'm going to show you how to add transitions and sound effects in Maschine. And these could really take your arrangement to the next level and help you make a complete song. As an example, these effects and transitions could sound like this. And they could also sound like this with a drum fill. And I'm going to show you 3 different ways on how you could add these effects and transitions in Maschine and what you could do with them in terms of arranging them and processing them with effects. So let's get into it. Okay, so with this, let's start out fresh. I'm going to delete this and we're going to start off with this arrangement here. The first thing I want to do is I want to transition from this scene into this build-up scene. This is what it sounds like currently. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I picture a downlift right here, and I'm going to add a new group and call it downlift. The first way I'm going to do this is by showing you this group I created in my user library, which is a group of risers and downlifters that I got from Splice and I saved as a custom group. So here it is, it's all loaded up, and then I'll start to experiment with what sounds I want. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, so imagine I want this. To add this effect, we're going to utilize clips. So I'm going to have this clip right here where I want it. And to get this activated, I have this selected. I'm going to plug in. It's going to be on sampler. I'm going to change that from sampler to the audio engine. Now you will see that the sound effect is showing up here. And if you want to view this as a larger waveform, you could click this piano roll keyboard right here. So switch from that to that, and you could see this waveform. And if you keep dragging this out, you'll see that the audio starts to repeat. So you want to make sure that your sound effect is the appropriate length so it's not repeating itself. This one's pretty easy. I want it to start right here, but if you needed to move this, one thing to know is that you will need to adjust this grid right here. If you adjust it to 1 bar, when you move this, it's going to snap to 1 bar. You see that? You move it to 1/16, you'll be able to move it in finer increments and snap it to the grid like that. And if you need to move it off grid for whatever reason, you could click this hashtag right here so it's not lit up. Now you can move this wherever you want, freely across the grid. But for this, I'll keep it on and I want to have it right here, right at the start. So let's see what this sounds like. Okay, so this sound effect is too loud for me. And you will have to do this with a lot of your effects. You'll have to adjust and mix them. I'm going to go to my mixer here. And I'll go to number 9 since that's what we're working with. And I will start adjusting the dB and seeing what I like. Okay, I think I like that level. One thing you could also do is process and add effects to these sound effects. So I will add a filter because I want this to be filtered and less vibrant, kind of in the background. So I'll add that and then I'll see what that sounds like. And you could experiment with this cutoff right here. So let's see what it sounds. If you want to hear this by itself, you could do a solo. Let's see. Here's what it sounds like when the filter is really low. So I think I like it right here. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, I like that. I like the sound of it. Now what I want to add is a sweep sound that transitions from this scene into this downlifter a little bit. So I'm going to add a sweep. And we'll add this sound effect with a second method. So first I'll add my clip here. I'm going to go into my one-shots library, which is right here. And you can view all your one-shots. I'll go to sweep and swell. And I'm going to go to sweeps and start going through the browser and see what I like. Okay, I like this one here. So to add this to the sound, I'll just hit load, and now that's added right here. Same thing, go to plugin, change it from sampler to audio, and now I have this here. And I will go to the piano roll so I can see what this looks like, and I'll drag this out to make sure that any sound plays out all the way if there's a reverb or anything. And I will place this. You'll want to look up here, see how this is the end of bar 24, and the end of bar 24 is right here. So you want to line it up so it makes sense. So maybe something like this. Okay, first of all, that's too loud. So I'm going to mix this, and I want it to sort of be on the same level as the riser. So I'm going to solo this sweep, and then I'll unmute this so I could just hear these 2 elements. So So let me bring down the mix of this sweep quite a bit. You see how this sweep kind of transitions into this downlift now? Let me lower it a little bit. Okay, I like that. So let me take that off, and now we can listen to it in context of the whole thing. Okay, I like that a lot. This part's good. The other sound effect that I want to add is a drum fill. Right here in this empty space, right before the drop, I want to add a drum fill. So let's listen to that. So right here, drum fill. And then it goes in. So that's what I'm kind of picturing. Let's add a new group. We'll call it drum fill. Going to add a clip. You can place it wherever and move it later. Let's do that. Now let's add a sound effect using something like Splice. So let me pull up Splice here. And with Splice, you could go search for sounds such as drum fill. You can start browsing all of these if you like. Imagine that you like this, you'll download it, and you'll need to sign up for Splice and get some credits, which costs a little bit of money, but it's totally worth it. So you would download it. Then you will look at your sound library, and I'll go to the one that I'm actually using for this beat. So in my sound library, it's this one here. I would download this. Once it's done downloading, go to my downloads and I'll drag this into the sound slot. Now this sound effect is in my arrangement. And you know the drill, you go to plugin, sampler, audio. Now I have this here, okay? And as you can see, this clip is too long and it starts to repeat. So I'm gonna shorten that up. And then we are just going to place this where it sounds best. Let's see what that sounds like.
To the old school.
Okay, that timing was a little off, so I'm gonna try to put it right here and see what that sounds like.
To the old school.
Okay, still a little off. I want it to end right on the drop, so let's try this. Okay, so that sounds good. Let's listen to this a little more.
To the old school.
All right, so with that, I've showed you how to add these sound effects and transitions in 3 different ways. We added a riser using a group from my user library. We added a sweep using our one-shot library here. And then we added a drum fill using a sample from Splice. And these are the methods that you could use to add these sound effects and transitions all throughout your arrangement here. So with that, I'll play this whole build up and drop for you so you could hear these sound effects and how it all sounds together in a song. And if you like this video, please like it and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. I'll be making plenty more Maschine tutorials in the future, so look out for those and I will get started on that. So I'll play this and I'll see you on the next one.
To the old school.